Hi everyone, I am Amitesh at GetSet SQL and back with the new tutorial. In this video, where we are going to learn about instead of trigger. So I have already explained the triggers, the DDL and DML triggers in my previous video. If you want to watch that, then press that button. Else you can also get the link in description below. So in this video, we will discuss what is instead of trigger, when we need it, how it works. So we'll discuss everything in much detail with practical examples. So let's start. So as we know, the trigger is basically a implicit block which we cannot run by ourselves. It runs only when a certain event occurs. So instead of trigger is also the same way. It runs when a certain event occurs, but it works differently. It means whenever a certain DML action performed on the object such as table or view, then in place of executing that actual statement, the instead of trigger fires and it runs its predefined set of instructions. So basically, whenever we want to safeguard our object, let's say table or view, to not get inserted, updated or deleted directly by the user, or let's say we have a view which is a combination of many tables and we don't want users to perform directly insert, update or delete statement on that. Instead, we want to update the underlying table. Then in this case, we use instead of trigger. So let's jump into the screen and let's see practical examples. So here in the example, I'll be using SampleDB, connect to the database, and now I'm into my SampleDB database. And here I have already created two tables. One is product and second is sales. So product table keep the list of all products available in the store. You can see 7 products are there and each product has assigned one unique ID, which is a primary key of this table, then product name and product cost. Another table is sales, which keeps track of each product's sales over the time. So if I run both the queries, you can see both tables at the same time. Here is the list of products in the product table, and this is the record of sales of each product. As you can see, that product ID has sold twice on certain date. The product ID 5 has sold once and product ID 3. And this is the sales ID to keep track of each sales. And this is the sales ID assigned to each sales record. I have also created a view combining these two tables which keep the record of product ID, its name, product cost, sales price and sales date. So if I go here, I'll show you the definition of this view, which is very simple. You can see the view name is VW sales detail and it is selecting product ID, product name and price from product table. Also, I have a sales price and sales date from sales table and we are joining based on product ID. So this is a very simple view that I have already created, and if not, let me create it. Okay, that is already created. So if I show you this view, it has a consolidated data from product and sales table. Now what I want to do that whenever a user try to insert any new row into this view, then that record directly should insert into the underlying table and not in the view itself. So for that, I need to design a instead of trigger. The statement of that trigger is here. You can see tr underscore instead sales detail. So instead of inserting a sales detail view, this trigger will insert the data directly into the sales table. So let me explain you here line by line. You can see the syntax of the trigger, that create trigger, then trigger name on object name on which this trigger will be implemented. So the object here is view VW sales detail and the keyword instead of insert. So this statement is trying to say that instead of inserting any new row, in this view, this trigger should execute. And what this trigger will do, we'll see this in detail here. So first of all, begin and end. Within this block, we first of all declare a product ID of data type int. Then we will insert the newly inserted product ID value from the inserted table into this variable. Now what is inserted here? Inserted is basically a magic table which retains its scope within the trigger only, and it captures any newly inserted row's value. Okay, so this inserted magic table will capture the product ID which is going to insert into this view and will store into a variable. Once the newly product ID value that is going to insert has been stored, then we will check it with the existing product ID from product table in if condition. So in if condition, what we are doing, we are checking that if any row exists in the product with this product ID. If yes, then go into the begin end block and insert into the record in sales table. So here what we are doing, we are checking if the product ID is actually exist in the original table product, where this is a table where we are maintaining the list of products. So if that product ID is already available, then insert that product ID in sales table with other details. So we'll take product ID, sales price and sales date from the inserted table, and that inserted table will be capturing the certain row that user is going to perform. So capturing the values from there and insert into the sales table. Then end the if condition, and else in case if condition does not satisfy, then print a statement that adequate data is not provided. Finally end the else block and then end the begin block from here. So this instead of trigger will do what? Whenever a insert statement will be firing on this view, then in actual executing that insert statement, this trigger will execute and it will run the set of codes. So let me create this. I believe I have not yet created this one. Yes. Okay, so the trigger has been created, and now let's check what it does. Let me call both tables once again. The main table product and the second table is sales. So here the record, we have 7 products and 4 sales record against that product. And if I see the view, it must have all 4 records with greater details such as product name, product cost and everything. Now let's say I want to insert a value directly into the view with some random values. So I'll give product ID 3, product name XYZ, then product cost as 12, sales price some random values 10, and sales date get date, or let's say some any random date 1990-0101. So if I insert this random value directly into the view, what will happen? You will see one row affected and then another row affected via the trigger. Now if I check my view again, you will see a new record is created where the product ID is 3. So the product ID has been taken by the trigger and validated. If this product ID is real, it means available in the product table, then get the product name of it and the product cost and pick the sales price given here and the date, and then prepare the view. So what happened basically, when the insert statement executed, the trigger executed and it picked the product ID 3 and it validated the value from the product table. Is that 3 product ID really exist? If exist, then make the sales record in sales table. So this trigger inserted a new record in sales table, and that new record is displaying here in views. So let me check the sales table again and the product both. You will see the product ID 3 is for product name ice cream. So here you can see the 5th row is created for product ID and new sales price, and the date is inserted from the insert statement directly, and so the view is displaying the record for this row. So here in this example we have seen that how the insert statement works. We can also implement instead of trigger when we want to safeguard a table from deletion. So that would be very simple. Just create a instead of trigger on the delete event. So whenever user will fire a delete statement, instead of executing the delete, the instead of trigger will fire, and you can print the statement that this delete statement is not allowed. Let me show you in the example. So this is the very simple example here again. I have created a trigger tr no delete view sales detail on the VW sales detail view, and it is a instead of trigger. So you can see create trigger name on object which is view instead of delete. So instead of firing delete statement, the SQL server will fire this trigger, and what this trigger will do, it will simply print that you are not allowed to delete rows from this view. So if I execute this trigger, the trigger has been created, and let's say if I fire any delete statement on the view, delete from and the view name, then what will happen? You will get a message, you are not allowed to delete rows from this view, and the 5 rows affected. Actually nothing happened on those rows. If you go back to the view, you will see that the view is intact. So using these examples, we can see how instead of trigger works and how it implements predefined code instead of executing the actual statement. I hope you will like this video. If yes, please let me know by pressing like button and subscribe my channel. I'll keep posting new learning videos, and till then, please take care, stay blessed. Thank you.